the poison for Cusco, the poison chosen specially to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison.
Well, hello and welcome back to another of The Boy. So it looks like there's two more parts to this book. To book one, journal one, and I think I'm just gonna try to finish off the rest of this book in this video, which I doubt that I'm going to be able to do. Oh wait, no, there are three more parts to this book. So I'm gonna try to finish off the rest of this book so I can get on to the next one, because there is nothing better than being finished off. When I woke up, I worked for one more hour and then took a shower. After I went to my car. Next day, I woke up and parked on the side of the gym. It was so hot. I was wearing a jacket because it got cold the night before and the windows were up. I took off my jacket, then I went out, packaged some products, 2 books and a pizza pillow, and went to the post office. Then sent them out after I went to the laundromat and then the gym. Then I journaled, I read, and stayed up till 3 a.m. Next day, got told to leave twice last night. Fell asleep in front of a sports chalet. Drove to a Walmart, ate a salad, drank a Monster, and drove to a Sears Big 5 and scanned. After I went to the gym for a little bit and fell asleep in back of a restaurant. So at this point in time, I'm trying to do Amazon. I'm trying to find products that sell for low and then, that I could buy for low and then sell for high. Next day, I woke up and moved the car across the street in back of another building and watched YouTube videos for about an hour. After I drove to a Barnes & Noble, bought a book for $6, bought a mailer for $2, I don't know what that is. Sent it for $2. Oh shit, that's not good. I bought a mailer for $2 and then sent it for $2 and sold it for $8. Oh, okay, so that's good. So I made like a $6 profit. After I went to the library, finished my final drafts for George W. Bush. So I was trying to send letters to people like Warren Buffett, and I actually tried to send a letter to George W. Bush and Barack Obama. After I put $20, the last of my money, was planning to buying fast food, went to the post office to check my post office box. It arrived. My new Postmates card had came. Ooh, so now I'm not gonna have to rely on trying to sell for Amazon. I gassed up, so I put a lot of gas in my car, put my bank account, at the time I had negative $6.03, and went to work. After doing some, ordered, I pulled over to a 24-hour Walmart and journaled, watched some YouTube videos and read, and then fell asleep. Next day, I woke up, went to the library, read some, went to the gym, asked the lady for a dry erase pen and asked if I could write on the whiteboard, and she said yes. After I did some Postmates and fell asleep in the back of the store. Next day, I ate some pizza for breakfast, went to a Dollar Tree to buy some dog food to sell it on Amazon, went to the post office and found out that it was going to cost $12 per box to send to the customer. Then went to a Barnes & Noble, stole 5 books, packaged them, and put them in my trunk. because I had no money to send them. Did 3 orders of Postmates, then I pulled into a Sam's Club that was out of business and sat. A cop came up to me, said I could not, I said I could stay. Could stay? That's nice. Said that I could stay. About an hour later, I went to a parking lot and fell asleep. Next day, I had one last meal and planned to just drink water till February 11th. And then today's February 6th. Then I parked in front of Starbucks. My card declined with $4. Declined at 4:02. So I went to a Starbucks and I tried to get a large soda, a venti, for $4.50 and it declined. And then I tried to get a medium for $4.02, a medium, and it declined, and went through with $3.50 a small. It was cool because they still gave me a large, so that was nice of them. After I did 3 Postmates, went to a Barnes & Noble to read You're Not That Great. After I went to a Walmart and put back up a tree that got hit by a car. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Oh, looky here, guys. We have ourselves a blank page. Next day, I woke up and watched some YouTube. Then I realized that I had $100 in my savings account. Oh, wow. I transferred the money to my checkings account, sent out 8 pending orders on Amazon. Sent out 8 pending orders that I had on Amazon, sent them all out, and then did some Postmates work. After I went to the gym and worked out. After the gym, I had strong amounts of feeling of being alone. That's what we call depression. It's not depression, it's being alone. I got out of the car and went for a walk. I found a shopping cart, walked down a dark alley, walked down a wash, and placed the shopping cart upside down on a wall. Then I walked back to my car and fell asleep. Next day, I woke up about 9 o'clock in the morning, went to a Zia Records to see if they had any audiobooks that was on my Amazon sellers account, but they didn't have it, so I took the item off. After I did Postmates delivering and talked to Jess, after I went to a gas station, I filled up, smoked weed, and did Postmates. I did 15 orders. Made the 3rd water fasting video, pulled up to a Walmart, read some, then fell asleep. Next day, I woke up about 9 o'clock in the morning, walked into Walmart, bought a package to send a book, went to the post office, did 5 Postmates order, went to the gym, tried to go do some more Postmates, but I lost my card again. Oh my God, Paul, what are you doing? So I drove to a 24-hour library, I showed up and it was an ASU college. I went to the library, read some, no way, I just walked into a college library, drew on the whiteboard after I drove to a Walmart and fell asleep. Oh, I remember that. It was kind of weird because the library was like kind of like in a basement and there was like some other people in there. It didn't look like they were doing anything whatsoever. I was like drawing on the whiteboard. Next day, woke up, tried So I'm doing a water fast. Woke up, tried to do a 10,000 calorie challenge, took a nap, failed, and fell asleep. Next day, I woke up, felt a distance from Jess. I worried about me not liking her family. Worried about me loving her. Me not liking her level of knowledge. I hated it. I don't want to marry her. We hung up, I deleted YouTube and smoked weed, went to a library, read a book, main thing taken from it, labor trumps everything. Then I stated out loud that I'm going to be president to a random lady. Her response was, well, hurry up, I want to vote for you. Aww. Then I drove to the post office. There were 3 letters in my post office box, and none of them were for me. I just put them back in the mailbox, then drove 22 minutes to the gym. This was a far distance for me because I had half a tank, no Postmates card, and $400, and needed $38 foot plus gas for the next 5 days. I realized that my biggest problems are other people's biggest dreams. I realized that my biggest problems are other people's biggest dreams. Then I pulled in the back of a clothing store and fell asleep. Next day, I woke up and it was cloudy. I drove to a post office. I checked my post office box and it was empty. I drove to a Walmart, bought a salad, sushi, and a burrito. I ate them all, found out that I had an oil leak, even though I mentioned it before in the book, but I guess I didn't do anything about it. Because, I had an oil leak and Walmart couldn't do an oil change because the plug was stripped. After I went to the gym, worked out for 3 hours and 30 minutes, then I pulled up to a clothing store. I watched YouTube videos for about an hour, then a security guard in a Crown Vic pulled up and asked me to leave. I was still laughing from the videos, so I said, all right. I drove up to the opposite side of a Walmart journal and had a deja vu, and then had a weird fear cry thing. Shit. Then I got my thoughts on paper and then fell asleep. Next day, I woke up, moved the car in the back of the shopping mall, then went to a Walmart, bought 12 cookies, a burrito, half a gallon of milk, and a salad. I drove to a car wash, ate them all the cookies, and took a nap. Once I woke up, I washed the car. Forgot 2 days. Got another Postmates card. So I have another Postmates card. Woke up to a guy trying to unlock my car door. Then he sped off. I woke up. Damn, so someone was trying to rob me while I was inside the car. That's kind of scary. I woke up and did Postmates till night and fell asleep. Next day, I woke up, ate a poke bowl. I ate a poke bowl from last night's delivery. Oh, that's not good. I woke up, I ate a poke bowl from last night's deliveries, fell back asleep, woke up at 11 a.m., went to a Walmart, bought 4 Brita water filters, put them in their packages and sent them by mail. Did some Postmates after I pulled up to a 24-hour Walmart, smoked some weed. While I was smoking, a cop pulled up and started driving weird. So I pulled into a small outlet mall and journaled. Then after I fell asleep. Next day, I did nothing all day, found out that my Postmates account was deactivated, i.e. no more money. I took a nap, stole a pizza from a Walmart, ate the entire thing, and then fell asleep. So this is really, really bad. So I'm living out of my car. What am I in? The 1993 Honda Civic. And Postmates is my only real source of income, not including the Amazon thing, because the Amazon thing I'm making so little profit, it's like I don't even know why I'm doing it. Next day, I woke up, tried logging into my Postmates, but I still didn't work. I had $0.00 in my checking account, $100 in my savings, negative $100 for my car registration on the 22nd, and negative $174 for the hospital bill on the 25th. Oil change and no money. I honestly don't want to live anymore. Like, I think I'm done. I took a nap, went to Walmart, stole cookies, ramen, chicken wings, and a gallon of water. Then I parked by a Best Buy again and ate all the cookies and watched YouTube videos for a few hours. After I broke into a movie theater and watched the Black Panther twice, the main thing that I got out of the movie is that you're the king you create. You're the king you create. You're the king you create. So you are who you create. After I fell asleep, next day, I woke up at 8 a.m. by a phone call from the dude asking about my application at www.iforgot.com. Paul. He asked me to do it. I got off the phone, made an interview for 2:45 p.m. I went to a Walmart, stole some shoes, a long sleeve button up. So I stole some shoes along with a long sleeve button up shirt, slacks, and a wallet. Went to the gym, changed my clothes, got a haircut, and had an interview at Advantage Security. I don't remember that one. I needed a guard card for Arizona. After I went to the gym for an hour, got out, went to McDonald's, bought a $12.99 bundle deal, 2 apple pies, and a large Coke, and ate them all. After I parked in the back of a gym, watched some YouTube videos, used the gym's Wi-Fi till 12 a.m., then fell asleep. Next day, I woke up by yelling at myself. Come on, get up. Then I drove. There's some arrows. Oh shit, wait. Oh, so instead of riding like a normal person, like going like this and then finishing up down here and then going over here, I just rode all the way across. So let's see how this goes. Come on, get up. Then I drove to a Circle K, bought four Locos, and a Monster, and I journaled. After I went to the gym, put on my slacks and button-up shirt, and slacks, and drove to Advantage and did an hour training, a 2-hour training. After I talked to Jess and went to the library and tried to get my guard card, I had a card before because I used to be a security guard in Arizona, but I threw it away. So I had to spend $49.99 and take an 8-hour complete test online. I let the online course run itself while I read through 4 different books. Nelson Mandela by Christian Scott, a book about Pearl Harbor leadership, and a massive book about 2 feet long and 1.5 feet from National Geographic displaying the world. I spent about 5 hours in the library and got half the guard card training class done, and rented the book Nelson Mandela and Leadership. I got out the library at 8 p.m. and was hungry AF. Oh, P.S. This form was stupid as fuck, so I went to Little Caesars, got an entire large pizza, drove to a McDonald's, got a large Coke and an apple pie. I drove back of some building, ate the entire thing, and then watched YouTube videos and then fell asleep. Next day, I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning, pulled into the front of the gym. I got in, walked on a treadmill for like 2 minutes, changed into my long sleeve button up, and then went to the security office, completed 10 more units, which took 5 hours. Then I drove to a Walmart, bought a salad, sushi, pineapple, and a Rockstar. At least I bought it. Then I drove to the library. I tried to pay my registration for my car, $100, but I didn't have insurance for my car, so I couldn't. So I took a nap. After I woke up, I grabbed both books. I rented my tablet and chipboard and went into the library, did more of my guard card training. Then I went to Walmart, bought a family, oh, this was stupid. I bought a family, a dude, some big Mexican lady, milk, 2 packets of chicken, seasoning, 5 jugs of soda, lemonade, ketchup, toilet paper, cleaning stuff, hot Cheetos, and a Monster. They clearly took advantage of my kindness, but fuck it. I spent $43, 3 days worth of fast food to make people happy. So it was like one of those families that like hangs around like Walmart, like, please help us, please buy us stuff, and I fell for it. You shouldn't do that. I found it weird that I was paying for it, but they were still wanted the cheap stuff. After I bought water, rice, cakes, pre-workout that doesn't work, C4, spoons, phone cups, then I parked in the back of the gym, watched some YouTube videos. After about an hour, I went into the gym for about 2 hours until my left calf cramped up like a bitch, and I took a shower. After I gave my blanket to a woman sleeping by a dumpster, after I moved my car across the street and parked under a street light in front of a Checkmate cash loan place across from a gas station. This was not the ... safest location. Then I read for a bit and fell asleep. It's so weird that my penmanship goes from crappy to really, really good. I woke up at 0800 hours, drove to the back of a store, took a piss, and I felt so shitty. I felt like I did hardcore drugs. I fell back asleep and slept until 11 a.m. Jess called and we talked for a bit. I drove to a Jack in the Box and got a chicken teriyaki bowl. I drove to the library, hung up the phone with Jess and ate. I finished my guard card classes, called a fingerprinting place, paid $20, got my fingerprints, went to a Walmart, paid $8 for a passport photo, and got a new briefcase. Threw away the old one. That's the one that I actually still have. It's like a little briefcase that holds all my files. And threw away the old one and had nothing else to do. I got insanely bored, whatever. I went to a Little Caesars, bought a pepperoni pizza, drove to a McDonald's, got a Coke. On the way there, I ate 3/8 of the pizza, drove to the back of the gym and ate the entire thing. Then I took a nap. When I woke up, I smoked weed and went to the gym at 12:30 a.m. After I journaled for a bit, went to a McDonald's. The line was out the drive-thru at 1 a.m., so I went across the street to a Taco Bell, got a cravings deal for 4 cinnamon delights. I drove back of the gym and began to eat. A security guard told me to park in the front. Then I read and then fell back asleep. Next day, I woke up, made a YouTube video describing what I've been doing for the past week. Then I got a call from Amazon asking why I had such a high cancellation rate. I explained that I had no money to keep sending out product. I went to the library and learned how to put my account on vacation mode. Then I made a new intro to my YouTube page. After I went to the library, I went to Walmart. Then I parked and ate an orange. Then I parked in the back of the library, took a nap, When I woke up, I went to Walmart, bought a blanket and a jacket. After I got 2 pizzas and then parked in the back of the gym, I ate 1 3/8 of both. Then that same fucking security guard came, told me to move. I told him to talk to the cops. Then I took a massive trash shit on the property. Took a piss behind the dumpster across the street to a different property and fell asleep. There's like a lot of arrows and it says in the next 4 days I just went to the post office box. I had a Postmates card in it. Drove 30 minutes away to a security office. I went to a library and read. Next day, I woke up in front of a KFC, ate a peanut butter jelly sandwich and some oatmeal, grabbed my book, fingerprints, and played on my phone and read. I read quite a bit. Then I ate a peanut butter jelly sandwich, oatmeal, and a pack of ramen, and then took a nap. I woke up at 5:24 p.m., went to the library. The library mat? Oh my God. The laundromat. So I drove to another one, accidentally bought fabric softener, so I spent even more money buying detergent a second time. This normally wouldn't be an issue at all, but at this date I have about $5 in quarters, $28 in my bank account. My registration for my car is expired. I have no insurance. The tank was less than half full, not to mention I was back on $179 hospital bill. I hadn't paid my $131 ticket for not wearing my seatbelt and a $58 parking ticket. I went to my care. Ate a peanut butter jelly sandwich, 2 things of oatmeal, and a can of SpaghettiOs. After I prepared a bag, I drank some pre-workout and headed towards the gym. When I was coming off the freeway, a cop behind me, registration. He stayed behind me until the light. Randomly, then there was a new looking car in the left lane with his emergency lights on, and everyone else went around him, and I managed to get in front of another car. I didn't see the cop anymore, so I floored it. I hit 60 miles per hour. I kept going until I made a left and arrived at the gym. Once I was at the gym, I saw the CEO of Tough the Needle on TV. So I used to work for Tough the Needle, and I saw him on TV. I worked out until 12:03 a.m. Then I parked my car across the street of the Checkmate cash loan place and then fell asleep. Next day, I woke up and there was a huge moving truck next to me. I drove back in the back of Fry Foods store and took a piss. Then I drove across the street and parked under a tree, took off my shoes, put my feet on the dash and read. A few hours passed and it started to get hot. I moved my car into the shade, put my windows down, and watched YouTube videos. Then I ate a packet of ramen noodles, a peanut butter jelly sandwich. I took a nap, woke up at 10 p.m., took some pre-workout. I smoked the last of my weed and worked out. I walked into the Waldo Major. I talked to Waldo Major, a 6'6", 340-pound giant. I talked to Waldo Major. Who's that? I guess some guy who was huge. After working out, I went to my car and read. Next day, I decided to stay awake for a walk. I saw a 22-year-old guy who was homeless in front of a Mexican restaurant. I asked if he wanted a blanket. He said yeah, so I walked to my car, got it, and handed it to him. He told me how his pregnant girlfriend was in jail and he had to work on getting her out. Oh, I think I remember him. On getting her out. After he asked if I could buy him a coffee, I said of course. I bought him and me one. We talked some more and then I drove to a neighborhood Walmart, walked to a mountain and climbed it. After I walked to the back I walked back to my car, journaled a bit. I fell asleep at 8 a.m. and woke up at 10. Then I went to the library, learned a bit about the body. After I parked in the back of the building, read a bit, took a nap. I woke up 8 p.m. because mom called. Then I drank some pre-workout and went to the gym. I got out at about 11:40 p.m., ate 2 packets of oatmeal. I journaled, read, and then fell asleep. Next day, I woke up to a call of the gym with the janitor job. He said I could start on Monday. A janitor? I don't think I was ever a janitor. I went for a walk. Once I got back, I ate, moved my car in the shade, watched some YouTube videos. After I reclined back and took a nap, The sun got so intense, so I moved my car across the street under a tree in front of an apartment, continued to nap. I woke up, moved my car to the front of the gym, made a vlog, bought some water, took some pre-workout, and went to the gym. I finished the audio book to The Art of the Warrior by Lao Tzu and got to part 3 of Power. After the gym, I came out and ate 2 peanut butter jelly sandwiches. Then I journaled after I fell asleep for about 2 hours, woke up about 12, got out of the car, walked around until about 1 a.m., then went back to the car and fell asleep. Next day, I woke up, drove my car to the back of the buildings, took a piss, then I drove to the front of the building that was for sale. I was worried about my car because it sounded like it was losing power. I called up the guy with the janitor job and confirmed that I was meeting up with someone and the Apple store in Glendale. Oh, I remember this one. Yeah, it was like for an Apple store. I drove 20 minutes to Glendale and went to the closest gym to the Apple store. I arrived, stayed in my car, and realized that it had all this power back. What was happening was that I had been charging my phone for the past few days, but not driving as much. So my car battery had been getting drained, but the alternator had not been able to recharge the battery. So I drove 20 minutes to Glendale, got it charged again. Then I charged my phone, earphones, ate breakfast, read some, and went to the gym. I listened to more of Power, the audiobook, got out of the gym, went to the library, started to learn a bit about technology. After I came back to the gym, walked for a bit, filled up my gallon of water, shaved my face, went to my car, caught up with some friends on Facebook, then I fell asleep. Next day, I woke up at 6 a.m. to get ready for my training, but I left my keys in the ignition, so the battery was dead. God damn, bro. You know, I'm really glad that I went through all this shit in the past, so like I learned from it. That like I don't do that. I don't want to, jinx myself, but like so I don't do that shit now, That was a lie. So I walked into a Mexican restaurant and asked someone to give me a jump start. In a heartbeat, they helped me out. That was nice of them. I drove across the street, bought some coffee, went to the gym, took a shower, drove to the Apple store in Glendale. Turns out that I was supposed to go to the Apple store in Gilbert. Oh no. I drove the 1 hour and 11 minutes drive there. Once I showed up, no one was expecting me, so I gave my number to a person there and went to the library in a college. I found it amazing that some spend I found it amazing that some people spend $100,000 to use this library, and I just walked in. I sat down and read some books about technology. Then I drove to a gas station, put $5 in my tank. After I drove to the gym and ate a ton of food and then went inside. I talked to this guy who looked like how I wanted to look. I came back to the car, told her that I couldn't be with her anymore. Her response, I figured. Oh. And then I fell asleep. Next day, I checked my Amazon account because I was supposed to be able to get paid, but of course I didn't. The entire day I did nothing, and I had to borrow $80 from Edward for the security guard card, and then parked in the back of a Walmart and did more of nothing. I drove to the front and my shoes were off, but I walked in anyways. Oh no, I just walked into a Walmart with no shoes. I bought 3 gallons of water, went to the gym, worked out. Then I came out of the side to my car, read a bit, and then fell asleep. Next day, I woke up, moved my car into the back of the store. I ate a pack of ramen and peanut butter and salad sandwich, and I watched a YouTube video. Shortly after I fell asleep, I woke up at 2:20 a.m. I went to the Walmart, money order for $72. I went to Walmart, got a money order for $72. I would assume from Edward, the library, and filled out some security guard paperwork. After I drove to the gym and fell asleep. So I would assume that, like, with this janitorial job, they sent me to one place and then it was the wrong place, and I went to the next place and then there was no one there, so I just kind of gave up on it. Next day, I woke up, went to the gym, got out. Sorry, this fucking hair is like poking into my nose and it's like itchy. Woke up, parked behind a Winco, cleaned my car. After I sat around some more, moved my car to the front, and then fell asleep. Next day, I woke up, parked in front of the gym, walked to the side of Kohl's, took a piss, then I walked into the Winco, ate a sushi roll, decided that I wanted another, so I ate another one, probably stealing it, walked back to my car, journaled, read, then I took a nap. I woke up because the sun was hot. I parked in back of the Winco and read. I got about 2 pages when a random lady said I couldn't hang out back here, so I went into the Winco, ate some more sushi, then I drove. Oh, I remember that day. Yeah, I was stealing the sushi. And then she said, "You're not supposed to be back here." And then I went back inside and stole some more sushi. And then I left. I drove 40 minutes to a gym close to the security office that I had to go to the following day. Took 4 scoops of pre-workout and just walked until 8 p.m. Then I shaved my face and went to my car, read, journaled, and fell asleep. Next day, I woke up 6 a.m., worked out, took a shower, got dressed in my button-up and slacks, headed to the security office, and completed 8 hours of training. Again? After I went to the library and read like 1 page, my hunger got the best of me, so I went to a neighborhood Walmart and got a whole bunch of nuts, sweet yams, beans, water, strawberries, apples, plastic spoons, cups, in parentheses. But Paul, I thought you had $31 in your bank account. How could you possibly afford all of that? Question mark. End of parentheses. I just walked out the front door, then put $5 in my tank, in my gas tank, and I headed towards the gym. Now, I remember that day very specifically. I just walked out of a Walmart with a whole shopping cart. And I remember, like, I was just like, there's no, like, I was just like, I'm gonna get caught. And I was just like, let's just try. And then I remember walking all the way to my car, opening up my trunk, and just getting it into the car as fast as possible, and then driving away. $5 in my gas tank, and then headed towards the gym. On my way there, I saw a peacock walking across the road. I got out and fed it bread. I live in California. That's kind of fucking weird. Then I continued to the gym and fell asleep. I woke up, got bottles out of the dumpster, felt mad all day, and fell asleep. Next day, I woke up, went to the gym, walked for 3 hours, went back to my car, and there was another car parked next to mine with a person in it. I sat and ate cashews, beans, peanut butter, and 2 apples. I felt a lot better today. I didn't feel angry, but I felt a bit tired. Then I read some of the biography of Gandhi and then fell asleep. I slept for 14 hours. Oh my God. Woke up, went to the gym. I walked for a few hours. Then went back to my car. Since I forgot to make a vlog yesterday, I decided to make 7 vlogs that day. After I read some more from the book on Gandhi, then I went to the back of the gym, edited the 7 vlogs, uploaded them, and then I listened to an audiobook. Next day, I woke up, played on my phone for about an hour, then 2 dogs ran by me. About 5 minutes later, 6 different people were running around to catch them, even 2 of the gym employees. Next day, I woke up and ate an apple, put on my shoes, went into the gym, put in about an hour of walking, went to my car, read, took a nap. I woke up, put my shoes, left my phone book in the car for a bit. I found a bag full of brand new what does that say? So I put them on and distributed them. A brand new what? And then I walked around. Once I was done, went back to my car, got my gym bag, and then went back to the gym. I did 1 more hour of walking and took a shower. Once I came back to my car, I drove 5 minutes. Bought a salad. So I went to Walmart, bought a salad, a burrito, and 4 gallons of water. Then I drove to where there was nobody, cleaned my car, drove back to the gym, and ate what I bought. After I fell asleep. Next day, I had an awesome dream about this huge horse, walked in the back of the gym, took a piss, went back to my car, fell asleep. I woke up at 11 a.m., ate some food, and then went to the gym. After the gym, I came out to my car. I went back to my car and I felt the strongest sense of anger for hours. I tried to fall asleep, but it was super difficult. Nighttime rolled around and I figured that I needed some carbs. I had about 6 cans of sweet yams in the trunk, but no can opener. I used a razor blade to open it and ate the whole thing. Oof. I went back to the gym, workout, took a shower, came out to my car, and then fell asleep. Next day, I woke up, went to the gym, did about an hour of walking, called Dad, but got no answer, but still wished him a happy birthday. And then left the gym. I would normally leave the gym at 2 p.m. because that's when the car gets covered in shade by the tree. But I left at 11 a.m. so my car was still in the sun, making it too hot to sit in. I grabbed 4 books from my car, finished one. I finished one I didn't want to finish. Time to Get Tough by Donald Trump. It was talking way too much about how bad of a president Obama was. Then I walked a mile to the library, returned all the books. Then I sat down and read about half of a massive book of Michael Jordan. After I walked the mile back to my car, ate a can of sweet potatoes, and read books for living till I fell asleep. I woke up about 9:02 p.m., journaled, and went to the gym. I did HIIT cardio, took a shower, and then I went back to my car. I had a hard time falling asleep, but approximately midnight I did. Next day, I woke up, got out of my car, walked behind the building, took a piss, came back to my car, read a bit. I grabbed my gym bag, went inside, and did about 1.5 hours of walking. Left my gym bag in the locker room, went to my car and made a vlog. After I walked to the library, got about 95% done of the autobiography of Michael Jordan, walked back to my car and took a nap. I woke up at 11 p.m., went to the gym, and they told me I had reached my limit of times that I could go to that gym because I wasn't at my home gym. Really? So I grabbed my stuff from the locker room and went back to my car. About 10 minutes later, a fire truck pulled up to the gym. ... Weird. I read and then fell asleep. Next day, I couldn't call my home gym because my phone got cut off, so I decided to walk into the gym and pretend that I didn't know. I just got handed a tablet, selected that this was my new home gym. That was solved. I took a shower. Damn, boy, the amount of passion that I had, I was like, you better let me in that gym. Got dressed in my button-up, headed to the security office. Once I showed up, I got told I have to wait 5 more days till my guard card showed up. So I went to the Walmart, ate 12 things of sushi. 12 things of sushi? Wrap, and then went to the library and worked on a puzzle. After I went to a gas. Look what we have here. We have ourselves another blank page. On to the next gas station. At this point, I had only had $4.65 in my account. Thankfully, it just put my account in a negative and filled my tank. It overflowed. Oh, so at that time, so I had money in there, so I just put it into, like, when your bank account says you got negative money in there, I just filled my gas tank all the way up. After I drove to my parking spot at the gym, I took a nap, I did some cardio with the treadmill, came back to my car, I read, fell asleep. Next day, I woke up, ate, journaled, and then went to the gym. Once I put the Wi-Fi. I had a missed call from Edward. Then I gave him a call back. He asked me if I could go to California tomorrow. I thought I was in California. I could be there tomorrow for a bonfire. Oh, that's nice of him. So he was inviting me to a bonfire. I said, yeah, took a shower and got on the road. Drove about 5 hours and 50 minutes. So I was in Arizona. I'm a little bit confused. To California, yeah, so I guess I was in Arizona. It was 8:06 once I pulled up. Just Aunt Kathy and Felicia were the only ones home. So we sat down and talked for a bit. Then Mom showed up and we talked for a bit. And then Edward showed up and then we smoked and then headed to Richard's friend's house and had a kickback. Fuck, it was so awkward. Then he came home and I passed out. Next day, I woke up hungover as hell, drove with Edward to Trevor's house, and then drove back to the house. Richard, Edward, and Tristan. Trevor? Is Trev? Who are these? Oh, so these are Edward's friends. And Tristan drove to Corona. Got some beers while I stayed home and cleaned the garage. Oh, okay. So the first day we went to the kickback. The kickback was awkward. So this is the next day, and while they're going and getting the beers, I'm setting up the garage so we can have kickback. Garage, took a shower, journaled a bit. I decided to have a stack of paper folded to come up with ideas throughout. I ended up writing 7 pages of stuff. A bunch of people came over to the house. Someone cooked burgers and hot dogs, but I couldn't eat any because I had been vegan for the past 9 days. Eat the burger. Then we drank a lot, smoked a lot, everything. Eventually everyone went home. Tristan stayed over. Then I went inside and fell asleep on the couch. Next day, I woke up, went outside to my car, opened up the hood. I found out that I was low on brake fluid, which I filled up with Dad's stash of tools and shit. But my oil was low. I needed 5W30, but I couldn't find it anywhere in the garage, so I just let it be. Then I cleaned up the garage a bit and sat down and journaled. Thought experiment. Oh, I gotta read this before. Oh no, I can tell you guys this. What if life is... Oh damn, this is way back in the Diaz. Whew. Okay, thought experiment. So this is just me randomly writing shit down. What if life is a simulation? What if we got so advanced with technology that we were in pods 24/7, 365 days? Because we were scared to face the real world. So we created a simulation game in which anything is possible. But we got so used to the game that we think that it's real. We're so scared to do anything because we think it's real. So we just consistently keep getting drugged 24/7, 365, so we don't have to face fake reality. What if you decided to just do 100% of what you want to do for the rest of your life? What if your life wasn't that serious? What if you didn't take your life so seriously, and outside of the addictions, you just did everything fun and meaningful to you? What if you went apeshit crazy into who you are as a person? You become an icon, and you become a success. You become you. You never need permission to be who you are as a person. That what makes you valuable, and your uniqueness, that's what gives you value. And then there's a number here. There's a number. There's just a random phone number here. So next day, now I'm back to journaling like my life. I left about 9 p.m., drove all the way to Phoenix, Arizona, got about 40 minutes out from Arizona, pulled into a rest stop, and then slept. Next day, I woke up about 11 a.m., the 40 minutes to Phoenix, got dressed in my button-up, went to the security office to check my guard card, came in, but she said the guy left 30 minutes ago, so I used the $400 that Dad gave me to buy. Dad gave me $400? Shout out to Dad. Used $400 that Dad gave me to buy the phone and the insurance. I was left with $141, and the registration cost $151, so I just decided to wait. I went to the gym and just sat around and started to feel sick, and then I fell asleep. Next day, I woke up at about 9 o'clock in the morning. I felt so bad that as soon as I woke up, I decided that I was going to sleep for the rest of the day. I just slept, woke up and slept until it was nighttime. I felt a bit better, but I needed medication. I drove myself to a Walmart 5 minutes away, and I swear I thought I was going to crash. It was so hard to actually stand up, steal Dayquil, and buy 2 gallons. Like, I felt like I was going, oh, and 2 blank pages of whatever that is. Whoa. I felt like I was going to cry. I drove back to the gym, took a shower, took some Dayquil, and then fell asleep. Next day, I woke up, felt 90% better, drove to Walmart, ate 2 burritos, went to the library, returned all the books, sat and finished a book of Michael Jordan, found out I returned a book that was wet, so I put it on my account. Then I checked out 3 more books. I went to my car, watched some YouTube videos, journaled, changed my phone, charged my phone and headphones, and got my clothes ready for tomorrow. Then I went to the gym, went to my car, and then fell asleep. Forgot to journal. Next day, felt really sick, pretty sick. Felt really sick, pretty sick, ... Wow, felt sick in the morning, slept till 8 p.m., got up, went to Walmart, got an entire basket full of food, walked out of the front door, filled my trunk. So I did it again. So I stole another fucking whole shopping cart filled with food. Ate some food, made a YouTube video, and then went for a walk. I decided to sit, and then I glued this in there. It's like a Ferrari 458, the white one, and then a Lamborghini Aventador LP750, the blue one. So I just decided to sit at a bus stop and started to edit my video. About 10 minutes later, a drunk lady came up to me and sat down. Then a drunk dude started talking to her. They were talking about, "Aren't you cold? No. Take my jacket. No. Takes jacket. I'm not going to give you a kiss. Oh, come on. I have a husband." And a whole bunch of other drunk talk. After they left, a drunk guy came up and also drunk and started telling me how he's a truck driver, he likes Jordans, he served in the military, and his wife died. Then he told me again and again. It was like he was stuck in a loop. In the past, I eventually asked if he wanted to buy me a drink. We went into the bar. He got 2 Budweisers and I got 2 shots of tequila. The bartender lady said that that'll be $17. He pulled out $7. We eventually walked out. I gave him a fake number and he actually called it right there. Then we walked across the street. Next day. So next day, but I'm just continuing on. So walked across the street to another that was closed. Then we walked to Rally's, a fast food place. I briefly remember this. It was closed and there was a lot of homeless people out front. We started to walk towards the gym so I can give him a ride. About halfway there, he asked, "Where are we going?" I said, "To the liquor store." Then an older Indian guy on a bike rode by and he said some Indian word to the dude on a bike, stopped, and then they talked a bit in different languages. I asked where the liquor store was. He gave directions, but I asked if he could show us, and he said sure. Once we showed up, dude 1, the truck driver. Okay, so D1 is going to be the truck driver guy, the guy who bought me the shots. And then D2, the guy on the bike. MD, the old Indian lady. The old Indian lady? MD, what does that mean though? Okay, here we go. We'll get to that. Oh, so MD, the old Indian later, so D1 is the guy who bought me the tequila. D2 is the guy who showed up on the bicycle. And then MD, the old Indian lady on the fold-up bike. ... We'll get to that. D1 asked what I wanted. I got vodka and they got 2 cases of beer. Then we all sat around the Electric City box thing and drank. About 15 minutes of drinking, a dog started barking, so we decided to go elsewhere. So about 5 minutes of walking, this Indian woman, about 50 years old, drove up on this fold-up bike. So that's MD. We decided to walk back to Rally's about 2 goddamn miles away. On the way, we lost D2. Lee was his name. I remember this. We thought it opened up at 3 a.m., but turns out that it opens up at 9 a.m. So we sat around for a bit, smoked some weed, and decided to get Filiberto's, a Mexican fast food place about 2.2 miles away. We all started to walk. We got about 1.8 miles away, and then D1 decided we needed a break, so we sat on a brick wall and smoked some more weed. Me and MD, Mama D, oh, that's her street name. So MD is Mama D, and that's her street name. Started to walk and let D1, still don't know his name, catch up. We began to talk really deep for about 10 minutes, then D1 tried to grab me by the shoulder, and walk in the opposite direction. I said, nah, I have to hear this story. He said, let's go. I said, I have to hear the story. He looked at me straight in the face and said, you know what? Fuck you. Damn, brother. And walked away. I was so confused, but we kept talking and said, you know, you need to start living for you. Do what makes you happy. I gave her a hug and we walked in different directions. I decided to jog back. I passed D1 and he said, where are you going? Me, nope. D1 said, come back here. I got to the gym and worked out hard. After about an hour later, I walked on the treadmill and began to edit my videos. About 50 minutes later, a black out happened. No one reacted. I went to my car for like 3 hours and slept. Then I got up, walked to the library, read a bit, walked to the theater, broke in, so I just walked into a movie theater, watched 3 movies, walked back to my car, and fell asleep. Next day, I woke up and got a call from the security office. They gave me my SID number. I drove to Chase Corporate Building, did my fingerprints, drove back to the gym, walked for about an hour and a half. Then I came back to my car, ate some peaches, made a vlog, journaled, and then walked to the library, read some, walked back to my car, and fell asleep. Next day, I woke up, walked behind the dumpsters, took a piss right after a fucking police officer walked up and started to question me. He was really cool. After I wrote out my workout logs, I went to the gym. This dude walked up and we talked for 2 hours. After I organized my trunk, my cab, and then drove to another gym. Journaled, went back inside, I came out, I saw that there was a security guard parked right next to mine, so I moved my car and walked to and found a backup parking space in case if I had to move. Oh, that's kind of smart. So I guess I was in the gym or something? I was in the gym and I was coming back, and obviously, you know, the security, he doesn't know that this is my vehicle. So I see that he's parked next to my car way over there. So I walked over somewhere else and then I found a place just in case if he tells me to get the fuck out of here, I already have a space where I can park. Then I went back to my car. Then I went back to my car, ate, watched some YouTube videos, and then fell asleep. Next day, I woke up, it was hot as fuck. I watched some YouTube videos, drove to the library, walked around a lake, drove back to the gym, worked out. Then I watched some YouTube videos and then fell asleep. Next day, I woke up, watched some YouTube videos, drove to the library, made one video, got in my car, parked in the back of a Walmart. I took a new YouTube profile picture, drove to the gym, uploaded, edited videos. Next day, I woke up, my tonsils were hurting a lot last night, but when I woke up, they felt 100% better. Oh, side note. So when I was younger, when I still lived in Pennsylvania, I got my tonsils like removed because like that was also another complication I had. They would swell up and I couldn't breathe. But as of right now in this case, I never have problems with them ever. Like they never hurt. I took so I went behind the store, set some stuff on fire for like 7 hours. Oh my God. I took my car and parked it into a loading dock behind the store and watched some YouTube videos and set some stuff on fire for like 7 hours. Worked out for about an hour, took a shower and came back to my car. I just sat, looked at old videos that I made, and then I fell asleep. Next day, I woke up about 9 o'clock in the morning. I got a call from the security office. They told me that I needed to come in for the final steps. So I told them that I would be there at 2 p.m. So I sat for a while, went to the gym, started writing my new workout log, got dressed in my button-up, went to the office, signed the final papers, work, and got my security clothes. Okay, so I secured a job. After I went to the back of the gym, worked out, edited videos, and then went to the back and fell asleep in my car. Next day, I woke up at 7 a.m., which sucked because I had nothing to do, so I woke up hella early. I moved my car behind a building that was for sale into the loading dock and watched some YouTube videos. I decided that I needed more food, so I drove across the street, got an entire shopping cart filled up with 12 cans of sweet potatoes, 4 cases of water, 4 gallons of water, a case of Red Bull, and a Monster. I tried to walk out the front door but got stopped at the door. So this is the 3rd shopping cart. In my memory, I just remember this time. I remember when I got stopped. I tried, oh God, oh this is like, oh God, it's like, oh, it feels gross, it feels painful to even read. Okay, here we go. I tried to walk out the front door, but I got stopped at the door. They told me to get my receipt. I bullshitted and said that they were too busy. Then a police officer showed up. Yeah, I remember this. And was looking at me. I said I had to go and walked away. So I left the shopping cart with them and I just went straight to my car, very awkwardly. Like they're questioning me and I just said, I need to go. And then I just walked to my car. I said that I had to go and walked away. I parked across the street. About 2 hours later, I drove to a gas station, filled up, drove to a Fry Foods and stole 6 gallons of water. So also I want to highlight, like, I'm not proud of this, of the years where I would steal. And yeah. So right after almost getting caught with a police officer right fucking there, afterwards, I went to a Fry Foods, stole 6 gallons of water, and parked across the street from the Walmart that I tried to steal from earlier. Like, what the fuck? So I stayed right across the street. Not 1 hour went by and the security from the Walmart drove across the street and started to drive around me. So I drove to another gym, went inside, worked out, came back to my car, and then fell asleep. Next day, I went back to the gym, worked out for like 15 minutes, took a shower, got dressed in my security shirt, and left to my first day of work. I arrived, did 8 hours of training. Technically, but it's just like, you know, that very first day when you're very first on the job, you kind of follow somebody around. So I did 8 hours of training, which they kind of pay you extra for, which is nice. Or is it less? It's one or the other. Hours of training, then drove back to the gym, which was next to a Walmart, went to the Walmart, ate a burrito, and went back to the gym and fell asleep. Next day, woke up, ate some cereal, fell back to sleep, woke up about 3 hours later, went to the bank, pulled out $20, drove to the laundromat, put my laundry, drove to the car wash, washed my car, drove back to the laundromat, put the wet clothes into the dryer, and then fell asleep. You know, got my shit, fell asleep. Next day, just sat around, went to Walmart, made a salad, ate some macaroni salad, parked on the side of the gym, and watched some YouTube videos. I fell asleep because I left my windows down and got bitten up by mosquitoes. Next day, woke up, ate some cereal and peaches, went into the gym, uploaded the videos, and then fell asleep. Next day, woke up, went to the gym, took a shower, and drove to work. Next day, woke up, went to the gym, got ready for work, got to work, nothing too exciting happened. Got off work, I saw a car with his emergency lights on, so I pulled over. Really? He said that he ran out of gas, so I gave him a ride to the gas station. We got talking, and he was a heroin addict. We drove back to his car, he filled it back up. I asked if he sold weed, and he said yeah, so we went to the gas station, he bought me a beer, filled up his gas tank, smoked some, what? Now clearly, like, he smoked heroin right in front of me. And we headed to his friend's house. It was about a 10-minute drive. Man, this dude was high as fuck. He was all over the road like he was drunk. He almost hit 2 cars, but we showed up. I got my butt, and he left to... Okay, so I got to the gym, I drank my beers, I smoked some weed, and then went inside the gym, worked out to my car, and fell asleep. So that scared me because it looked like I did heroin, but I want to make it crystal clear, I have never done heroin. Because I got a little bit confused. I want to make it crystal clear. The only drugs I've ever done is marijuana, alcohol, and mushrooms. And it was literally so little mushrooms, I barely felt it. So that kind of sucked. Next day, woke up, felt lazy as shit. So so tired and lazy that I thought that even if I smoked weed, there would be no way that I would get up and be productive. So I'm a very different character. Every single time that like I smoke weed, it almost makes me like a crack addict. Like I get shit done. So I felt that even if I smoked weed, that I wouldn't do stuff. I took one hit and within 2 minutes started to journal, put on my music, went in the gym, worked out. I got back to my car. So that's where I'm supposed to stop. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, there's no way I could. Ah! I ripped the page. Ah! I'm just gonna leave it there. Oh no. I went to the library, did about 4 hours of security guard training. What's up with all the training, man? That's a little extra. It closed, then I went to Food City and bought some groceries. Drove to Little Caesars, got a pizza, drove to McDonald's and a large Diet Coke, strawberry apple pie, drove to the gym, ate it all, then I fell asleep. Next day, woke up, didn't even smoke weed, made a video, uploaded it, drove to 3 libraries to finally find one that was open, went inside, did more security. Oh, so with this security guard training, it's 40 hours. So it's like a lot. Going backwards. So I'm talking, okay, going backwards. I'm so confused. Woke up, actually posted on time, went to the gym, did 15-minute circuit, took a shower, got changed into my security suit, went to the library and tried to get a book on the human body, but it wasn't there. I drove to my job, JP Morgan Corp. Ooh, should I say that? Yeah, I can say that. So, if you know Chase Bank, you know Chase Bank. This is like, should I say this? Yeah, I can say this. This just makes me feel real weird. Because leading up to this is where I got fired. But, so, a money truck, like those big secure trucks, they go to the bank and then they pick up the money, right? And then they go to a facility where they drop off the money. And then this is where I was working. So I would like sign in the security trucks. All I'm saying is that was in Arizona. I'm not telling you which one it was. Got up, went to the gym, did my tax return. It said that I was going to get $610. Went down the street, went to the post office, but it was closed. Got back in my car. I tried to start it, but it felt like the fuel pump turned off. I tried 2 different times and wouldn't turn over. My mind raced thinking, how the hell am I going to get my car off the post office parking lot, which was right in front of the road? How am I going to get to work station, back to the gym? How am I gonna carry around all this shit in my trunk? I said, fuck it. And I tried one more time, and it finally worked. Then I went to an AutoZone and asked if there was actually anything that I could do to prevent that from happening. He showed me some stuff I could buy, but I said, fuck it, and I didn't buy it. I drove to my P.O. box in Scottsdale, Arizona. I scratched it a little to know which one. Oh yeah, so I scratched the P.O. box itself a little bit so I know which one it was. So I know. So I knew which P.O. box it was when I first walked in. After I drove to a Walmart, one that I stole from, not proud of. There was a cop out front, so I said nope and drove 25 minutes away to a different one. Got a bunch of canned sweet potatoes and apples, chicken soup. I got to the self-checkout and my card kept declining. But I had $40 and it cost only $20. I legit took the whole cart and just walked out. Fuck, man. So that's the 4th cart I have stolen. I proceeded to drive. Don't ever consider don't do what I do. Pull over, and in front, hundreds of people set a bunch of paper on fire. What? Hundreds of people set a bunch of paper on fire. Then at like 7 minutes, I organized my trunk, dropped off, and went to the gym. After I took a shower, then went to work. A random dude knocked on my, next day. I woke up. A random dude knocked on my window asking if I was okay. I'm glad he did, because if he didn't, I wouldn't have made it to work. Wow, that's crazy. I drove to a car wash and changed into my security stuff in broad daylight. Then I drove to work. I asked what an escalation matrix was, but he didn't know. It's like a list of like CEOs and everything like that, with like a whole bunch of names and like papers on it, and an escalation matrix. After that, I fucked around on the golf cart, drank some coffee, watched some YouTube videos in front of everyone. I found a room with brownies. I ate like 3, then I studied using 2 computers and a random huge book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That was another weird thing. At the security desk at the JP Morgan, there was like a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it's kind of like a self-help book kind of thing, and they like leave it in there, which is pretty nice. And the reason why I know it wasn't like one of the other guards is because 1, they were just dumb as hell, and 2, it was like a really old one that was like a huge book. Then I drove to the gym, smoked some weed, and fell asleep. Next day, I woke up, went into the Planet Fitness, sat down inside of the gym, rewrote my workout schedule, then worked out, took a shower, got dressed into my guard suit, drove to work. I asked Dimba, I remember Dimba, he's like this big fat black guy, what an escalation matrix was, but he did not know. At 6 p.m. we got a test fire drill. It went smoothly. I got off work, drove back to Planet Fitness, smoked some weed, and then fell asleep. Next day, I woke up at 12 p.m., went to the library, read for a bit, got back in my car. I realized that I lost my glasses. I went back inside to see if anyone turned them in, but sadly no one did. I drove to a sports clip, got my hair cut. I didn't even notice how crappy it was because I didn't have my glasses. I drove all the way to a Planet Fitness, noticed how bad my haircut was, turned around, asked the lady to I turned around, went back and asked the lady to fix it. She did. I drove back to the gym, wore sunglasses inside the entire time I was there, worked out for like 4 hours, took a shower, forgot to bring a jacket to cover up my security suit, so I drove to a car wash, Keep in mind that I lost my glasses, so it was super dangerous. Change into my security stuff, left to work. I showed up an hour early, so I pulled over to the side of the road, uploaded some videos. Then at 11:55 p.m. I arrived at work, still wearing sunglasses. At the end of my shift, my supervisor told me that I wasn't saying hi to the employees, so I needed to change. I called Dad, drove back to the gym, and then fell asleep. Next day, I woke up to a knocking at my window. It was a police officer. He asked what I was doing out there, and I told him my situation. He told me, be careful of the new police officers. They try to write tickets for everybody they can. He left, and I smoked some weed. Then I worked out. I tried to go to the library, but it was closed. So I called up the Phoenix College and asked to speak in front of 100 people. What? I called up Phoenix College and asked how to speak in front of 100 people. What the fuck is wrong with me? I left a message for facilities. Then I drove to a cemetery, eye-opening. Then I drove towards a mountain with a bunch of caves in it. The entire thing was gated off by a military base. I ran across a highway to get a big ass stage. Then I drove to a McDonald's, ate a quarter pounder, 2 apple pies, and a Diet Coke, drove to the gym and ate. Afterwards, I drove to a car wash, changed into my security suit, and then drove to work. I worked an 8-hour shift. Next day. I worked an 8-hour shift and then fell asleep. Next day. I woke up at 1:25, did not take a shower. I drove to a car wash. On the way, I saw a white Lamborghini. I got to the car wash, changed into my security suit, drove to work. I got there, had a normal crossed out with a line. So had a drifted the golf cart. Stole a sandwich twice. Did my CPR license. Made a to-do and went to the gym. I smoked some weed and then fell asleep. Next day, woke up about 2 p.m. Literally the laziest motherfucker you've ever seen. I'm sitting in my car with my shirt off, trying to swat flies. A security guard who was with the company I was with told me that I couldn't park on that side, so I moved. After I went into the gym, worked out, I drove to the bank, pulled out a $5 bill, and then drove to go to do my laundry. While I was waiting for it, I called Dimba and told him that I got my certificate for the CPR and also journaled a bit. After I sorted 3 suits, sorted 3 suits, 3 slacks, 3 boxers, 3 pairs of socks, and 3 different... What? After I sorted? I went to the library. It closed at 5 p.m., so I decided to go on an adventure. I actually ended up going to Walmart, buying 2 gallons of water, and then falling asleep. Next day, I woke up and had to do a 10-hour shift. So I got dressed and then went to work. I pulled aside, got told to take off my sunglasses. I took them off. I got pulled aside. I got told to take off my sunglasses. I took them off a bit, but soon put them back on. I went throughout the day walking instead of using the golf cart. I called Edward and got his opinion on buying a house. After that, it was a normal day. I got to the end of my shift, went to the McDonald's, ate 6 cheeseburgers, 2 double quarter pounders, 4 apple pies, and 2 Cokes. Next day, I went to work. At night, I went into the cafe, sat down with an employee, and ate sandwich. I think the cleaning crew saw me. So what? Then I finished up the shift, drove to the gym, and fell asleep. Next day, saw that I got my tax return for $734. Then I ate 4 cheeseburgers, 2 apple pies, and a Diet Coke. Went to work, paid my phone bill and car insurance. Then I finished my shift, got to McDonald's, ate a double quarter pounder, 4 cheeseburgers, 2 apple pies, and a Diet Coke. Then I parked in the back of the gym and ate. After I went to work, used the golf cart a lot, got off work, went to McDonald's. Then I tried to fall asleep but couldn't. Next day, I tried to fall asleep but couldn't. Around 3 a.m., I drank some instant coffee. About an hour later, I organized my gym bag, changed, and went into the gym. I worked out, came back to the car, changed into my slacks, then drove 19 minutes to a smog check place. I arrived around 6:30, got there an hour before the place opened, then got gas, saw 2 cops drive through the plaza that I was parked in. One stayed for 20 minutes while I sat in my unregistered car and journaled. I decided to drive across the smog check place, and then I realized that there were 3 police cars parked around me. I parked in front of a Blackwell Automotive. It was 7:26 a.m. and there was only 1 car parked in the parking lot. It was the wrong place, but Tom Blackwell referred me to the right place. I paid $16 for a smog check and then $45 for a new license plate and registration. Then I went to the Walmart, changed my oil, and then went to work. I did a normal 8-hour shift and then drove to the gym. I ate and fell asleep. Next day, I woke up and not 10 minutes went by. The office called me and asked if I could come down to the office. I drove and met with Gina, and 2 others sat me down and talked about why I went into one of the classrooms and read some books that they gave to the new employees to teach. Gina found it very difficult to explain. Me try to seek knowledge. Eventually, I just left, went to the gym, and then changed into my security suit and left to work. Once I did my 8-hour shift and parked my car in the back of the gym and fell asleep. I got drunk, drove all the way to California. Eesh. Why? I arrived at a weed shop at 7:30 a.m. It opened up at 8 a.m. So I fell asleep with my headlights on. I went into the weed shop, bought $50 worth, and came back to my car, and the battery was dead. So I asked the auto shop across the street if they could help. They did, so I got back to my car, drove 5 hours back to Arizona. I arrived 1 hour before work started. I went to work after I drove back to the gym and fell asleep. Next day, I woke up about 2 p.m., ate and rice, beans, peanut butter sandwiches. Let me make sure that my camera's still on. Went into the gym, worked out, used my workout log. Yeah. God damn, this is a long fucking thing. You know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and just stop it right there. And then we're gonna go ahead and pick up tomorrow. Bye.